Okay, Math 8. Let's talk about rotations and a little bit of review and just the importance of this Edpuzzle video. I've been absent for a couple of days. I don't know if that's why, the end of the quarter, but today in class, I don't know if you remember, but there were a lot of pauses and it took down data, but ultimately, I don't want to have to do that. It's very frustrating. So it's much better if we can come to class and practice rather than having to sit, listen to me talk. So I hope you appreciate the Edpuzzle videos. All right, here we go. So without using a calculator, match each expression to the correct A, B, C. Okay, so we want to start with the table here. And we are going to use some of our skills from September. So I see the square root of 73. So right away, I'm thinking about my perfect square list. And I remember the square root of 81 is 9. And oh, so I remember the square root of 81 is 9. The square root of 73. 73 is a lower number than 81. So now I need the lower square root, and that would be 64. And square root of 64 is 8. So 73 is in between 8 and 9. So let's see how far is it away from each. 64 to 73, that takes 9 to get from 64 to 73. How far does it take to get from 73 to 81? 7, it's like 8. So 73 is almost right in the middle of 8 and 9. So I would say about 8.5. Which one of these is at 8.5? That looks like B. So that's going to be the square root of 73, 8.5. Okay, 7.81 repeating, that's a little easier. That's not all the way to 8. It's greater than 7. It must be right here. 7.81 repeating. And that leaves me with 1 remaining. So that has to be 3 pi. But just to say, what would that be if we didn't know? Well, that would be 3 times pi is 3.14. And so that's like 9 point something, right? So you just need to know that the decimal for pi is approximately 3.1. Okay, so that was a good review of approximating square roots. But for this one would be the same thing. You can skip it. And this one would also be the same thing. And so with this one, the only addition for this one, we should probably just do this really quick. So negative square root of 8. So 8 is between 9. Square root of 9 is 3. And so what is 2? That would be the square root of 4, right? So the square root of 8 is in between 2 and 3 because the square root of 8 is in between 4 and 9. The square root of 4 and the square root of 9. But what is it closer to? It's only 1 away from 9, and it is 4 away from 8. So it's way closer to 3. So we're going to say something like 2.8, 2.9, something like that. And there's a negative in front, so we want a negative 2.8 or 2. Which one of these would that be? Well, I'm in my negative, so I'm thinking backwards. And so that would be right here, not all the way to negative 3, but get, all right, so this is E, should be E. Negative pi, so we know that's negative 3.14, which would be D, that's negative pi. And this one right here, I wanted to do because I wanted you to remember that when we're changing a fraction to a decimal, we put the denominator on the outside and the numerator on the inside. And then 2 doesn't go into 3. Oh, wait, 2 does go into 3. Look at that, 1, and then 2, subtract, and then add 0, 10, 2 goes into 10, 5 times. So this is negative 1.5, which would be right here. All right, so y'all can try numbers and operations quiz 2. It's a very good quiz to do because we did this in September. It's now the end of October, and it's a great time to review what we did. You should feel like you forgot it, like you did it a while ago, because it's true. But now that you're doing it again, you are making a new memory in your brain. And that's really good for you. Okay, just making sure that my microphone's working. I freaked out for a second. It is, I think. All right, so let's talk about rotating points. This is what we did in class today. I tried to skip some of them a little bit, but okay. Let's start with this one. So figure Q was rotated about the origin by 270 degrees counterclockwise. So let's start out with making sure we have in our notes clockwise is, now how does the clock move? It moves like this, right? Clockwise is this way, and counterclockwise is the other way. Okay, so make sure you know that. Counterclockwise is considered a positive rotation, and clockwise is considered a negative rotation. So we want to go counterclockwise. We want to go this way. We want to go 270 degrees. The next thing we should have in our notes is we should have 90 degrees. And so I'm going to do the counterclockwise rotation. So if I start from the horizon and I rotate 90 degrees, that would give me right there, right? If I rotate 180 degrees, where would that get me? What we learned in class today, that's a straight line because it starts from the horizon, right? Point right here. If I rotate, there's 90, keep going, boom. That's 180, and that is 180. Okay, so 270, what is that? That is 390s if you think about it. 9 times 3 is 27, right? So here is my horizon. Rotating 90. 90 more gets me to 180. 90 more is all the way down here. Crazy, right? So this is bigger than any angle we're used to dealing with, called reflex. In any case, it's 270 degrees counterclockwise, that's for sure. And so what we learned in class today is we can take a figure and we can take any point on that figure, and if we rotate it, we should get to the new point. So if I rotate this 90 degrees, that's like a quarter of a way. Another quarter, this would be 180, right? Halfway. And then so, so 3/4 of the way should be somewhere here. So I should see this little dart pointing down here. That this point up here should be down here now. So I don't see that in any of these 3. So I really hope that it's this last one because none of these first 3 look like this little triangle guy is pointing down. Aha. And this one right here, we see this yellow figure and you see how it's pointing down. I wasn't exactly correct when I thought it'd be pointing straight down, but I knew the nose would be way down here in this quadrant. If you look, figure D is the image, and we can see the nice thing about these hints, if you took time to read the hints, is they do a great job of showing you the pictures as they go through it. Okay, so let's just make sure we got everything. We have clockwise, counterclockwise, we have our three multiples of 90. Let's also write down, well, that's good for now. We'll write down our success criteria at the end here. Okay, so 180 degrees. Let's look at this one. Draw a little triangle, draw the center, and then if we want to take a point on this triangle and rotate it 180, it's going to be like a half, it's going to be like a setting sun, right? So we should see this thing upside down over here. Should be like that. So which one looks like that? Well, they all look kind of similar, but this is a good problem to bring up the point that we should see the same distance from, so I see how there's a bend there. There shouldn't be a bend. It should be a straight line. And the distance here should be the same as the distance here. So I definitely don't see that in B. B is too close to the center. This one looks good. They're the same distance away. So I like A so far. C does not work because they're facing the same direction. And the rotation of 180 is going to be upside down because it's turning, going upside down. And D is just terrible. So now by process of elimination and inspection, you can see A has to be the right answer. Do y'all want to do one more? Okay, thought so. Let's do one more. Okay, take your time and draw the center in all 5 dots. Won't take as long as you think. And we are going to rotate R about the center 270. So this is the last one we need to do to get our success criteria. So what we want to do is we want to draw a line from R to the center. I'm going to use my line tool. There we go. And we're going clockwise. So we're going this way. So if I do 90 degrees, A would be 90 degrees clockwise. Straight up here would be, somewhere around here would be 180. And so it's got to be D that is 270. Again, if I rotate that far, that's 90. This far again, another 90, and that makes 180 altogether. And then 90 more, and 90 plus 90 plus 90 is 270. So that big turn there, big turn all the way there, gets me to point D and point R. A lot of things going on here, but I hope you see that we get 3 90-degree turns and we get to 270, and it's got to be D. Okay, so now I'm going to just show you that we can see 2 things. We can see the 270, and we can also see that these are the same distance. So let's write our success criteria. I can determine center of rotation. You can't do anything if you don't know where the center is. I can draw a line from the pre-image to the center. I can draw a line from the image to the center. I can identify 90, 180, and 270-degree angles. And I can make sure points, oh, I should say, pre-image and image are the same distance from the center. I can, let's use a better, I can ensure. Ensure. Okay, can you ensure that? If you can do those things, you're not gonna get any of these wrong. Okay, so, and not only that, but you won't get any of these wrong. Except I did forget now that I'm seeing these clockwise. I can determine the direction of rotation. Clockwise or counterclockwise. Almost forgot that. Okay, so now we have those are there. They will be there for the rest of the video. No. Yes. Okay, they will be there for the rest of the video. Because we're just gonna do this one more problem. All been a great audience. Okay, so here we have one like what we did in class today. And so I can determine the center, that's Q. I can draw a line from the pre-image to the center. So I'm going to choose a point. I'm going to choose point A and draw a line from A to the center. I can draw a line from the image to the center. And that's got to be the corresponding point on the image, which is A prime. Okay, I can identify 90, well, I see a 90 degree and I see a 270, right? So let's see, what are we doing? Well, we can get there in two different ways. We can get there by going 90 degrees this way, which would be, what would this direction? This would be counterclockwise. So that's 90 degrees counterclockwise, right? If we go that way. Or we could go 270 degrees and get there that way. And that direction is clockwise. So there are two answers, 270 degrees clockwise and 90 degrees counterclockwise. I think I know why 11 people got that wrong. Maybe they didn't check all that applied. All right, let's do one more. I know I said one more, but I think we should do one more. Here we go. Okay, so let's take and connect a center of rotation is the origin, right? Origin. So I'm going to choose B this time and draw a line from B to the center and B prime to the center. I see a 90-degree angle there. 90-degree angle. And so I can get from the pre-image to the image by going 90. It's the same thing. 90 degrees counterclockwise, or I could go all the way around, and that would be 270 degrees clockwise. Okay, I hope this was a helpful video for you. You have your success criteria, so I will see you in class, and hopefully we have a nice focused time together and all get 100% on everything. Bye. But if not, post your traffic light problem.